Shalom, I'm Joel Sanchez with Crucified Life Ministries, and today we're looking at the Torah portion, Vayishlach, that's found in Genesis chapter 32, verses 3 through chapter 36 to verse 43. So today there's three things that I would like to look at. Two of those things, or all of those tying into the concept of honor and shame. And from the ancient Near Eastern perspective, honor and shame, this was very important because this is what their society functioned off of. Our society today is an innocent or guilty society, and basically, if we have a problem, it's really not about honor or shame. If we have a problem, we just go and throw some of our dollars at it and fix the problem, and we get up and act like nothing ever happened and it's all good because I fixed the problem with my money. But back in the ancient Near East, they couldn't do that because it was about honor. You had a status, and it was either honor or shameful. And so today we're going to look at, starting out in chapter 33, this is the famous reunion that Esau and Jacob had. Remember, Jacob fled after he deceived his father, and he had been with Laban, and now he's getting ready to go back into, go into and inherit the promises that Yahweh had given to Abraham. But the issue is, before he can do that, he has to go and he has to confront Esau. So when we read this story about his confrontation with Esau, or his reunion with Esau, what we see is something very interesting. We see actually Jacob submitting to Esau. Now, why do I say that? Well, when Jacob goes and he bows 7 times to Esau, we have documentation not only from Egypt but from other places, that when a vassal king would go and submit to a suzerain king, that he would actually bow 7 times. Meaning, I am submitting to you. And when a vassal king also would want to submit to a suzerain king, he would actually take gifts or pay tributes to this suzerain king. So therefore, when we also see in this story that the 550 animals that were gifted from Jacob to Esau, this was another example in the story that Jacob was actually submitting himself and his family to Esau. And I'll just throw this in and mention it later on, or expound on it later on. But just FYI, Benjamin was the only one in the family that never bowed down to Esau. Everyone else did. That's prophetic. There's very powerful prophetic ramifications, and it's a very prophetic sign when we begin to really talk about the end times. But let's move on. So, in other words, Jacob was submitting to Esau. Now, I'm not saying that Jacob was totally right or totally wrong in doing that, but sure, he was fearful because Esau said, I'm going to kill you the last time that they were together. And now you have this meeting, and there's been many things taught about this portion of the reunion and Esau's kiss and all of that, and that's fine. I'm not coming against that, but possibly with what we're sharing today about this concept of honor and shame, possibly Jacob had come to his wits, and possibly, I'm just saying possibly, he actually was trying to do the right thing And the honor that he took from his brother, maybe he was trying to bestow that honor and repair that honor to his brother Esau. Again, I'm speculating there. But one thing is for sure, he did submit to him and go the way the history and the culture was during the ancient Near East. Jacob's actions were, he was submitting to Esau. Now let's move on. In the next chapter we see the rape of Dinah. And we see that it kind of seems strange that Jacob would want to give his daughter to someone that raped her. But we have to understand in the ancient Near East, this was very, this was something that was I find interesting. And without understanding the ancient Near East, we can't understand what was really going on. So basically, you have here, if Dinah was raped, or Dinah was raped, this meant that really and truthfully, no other man would want to accept her or receive her as his wife due to this rape. So therefore, when the guy who raped her wants to take her in as his wife, this is why Jacob is in agreement to do this, because now the person that raped her is actually going to protect her and take care of her. And there's even a stipulation in Torah that says if there's a virgin and this virgin is not to be married to someone and someone comes and rapes her, then that person can actually, that raped her, can take her as a wife, but that person has to pay a hefty dowry for her. And it's all about keeping the honor and not bringing shame against Dinah and her family's name. So Jacob on one hand was trying to maintain the honor of his family instead of getting up and basically killing everyone like his sons did, okay? He was trying to maintain the honor and trying to make the best thing come out of a situation. I'm not saying I'm in agreement with the rape or that it's okay to rape someone. No, not at all. But what I'm saying is, dealing with this concept of honor and shame, this is why Jacob makes the decision to give his daughter who was raped to the person that raped her. Now, the boys, on the other hand, because of their vengeance and their anger, they went in and slaughtered all the men of the town, because on one hand they were trying to maintain their family's honor and their family's name, and the shame that had been brought against their family's name, they was trying to get that honor back. So on one hand, I understand why they did what they wanted to do, but I don't fully agree with it because they did it out of the wrong spirit. So what can we learn from this? Well, in the Hebrew Roots movement, Messianic movement, Torah observant movement, whatever we're calling ourselves this week, we have a situation where everyone, especially now that we're around the Christmas season and all of this, that we get all of the Torah terrorists and all of the paganoids coming out of the woodworks and bashing people and beating other people up because of their celebration of these pagan holidays. I will say they're pagan, yes. They have pagan aspects to them, yes. I don't celebrate them. My family doesn't celebrate them. So I'm not saying I'm not pro these pagan holidays. But what I'm saying is, in an effort to maintain the honor of our name, of the movement, and of our father, if we go out and we do just as Jacob's sons did, we take matters into our own hand and we take the truth, just as they wanted to restore the honor of their family's name. If we do that and we have that same type of spirit and we're going and we're beating people up with the truth, then how effective are we going to be? I propose that when we do that, when we beat people up with the truth, No matter how right we are, we actually cause shame not only to us with the way we look and carry ourselves, but to the Creator who we say we represent. So we look like idiots in the eyes of the people that we're beating up, in other words. So in an effort, in our zeal to present the truth, if we present it with a wrong spirit, then basically instead of bringing honor to the Creator and to ourselves and to the movement, we actually bring shame to the Creator, to ourselves, and to the movement, because we're not doing it out of a correct spirit. So as these pagan holidays are upon us, or pagan celebrations, whatever you want to call them, festivals, whatever, please remember, let's stop beating people up. If you want to present the truth, present it out of love. Present it in the correct and right way. Stop hammering people. Stop trying to be right and vomit your knowledge all over everyone. Because in the end, we end up looking stupid, and you cause everyone else in the movement to look shameful and look stupid, because they lump us all together in one big basket. Okay? So I want to end on the note of Benjamin's birth. And this is very important, because when he was birthed, his mother Rachel, she died. And she actually gives him the name of Ben-Onim, which means son of my sorrow. But then his father changes his name to Benjamin, or Benjamin in English, which means son of my right hand, or builder of my right hand. This is a very prophetic name, and like I mentioned earlier, Benjamin was the only one out of everyone in the family that did not bow to Esau. Benjamin was also, if we remember correctly, he was the one that brought restoration to the brothers in the story of Joseph and the other brothers. So basically, Benjamin is a prophetic picture. We can say he's the bridge, or the person that Yah used to bridge the gap between Ephraim, Joseph, and Judah. This is very important, because he was the last of the brothers. And in the high priest, the breastplate of the high priest, we actually have the last stone is the stone of Benjamin. So there you have the whole thing of the first being last and the last being first. And when you read in Revelation, actually the floor, the foundation of the New Jerusalem is actually the color of the stone of Benjamin. So there's lots of prophetic implications on Benjamin. And I believe Benjamin is going to play a huge role in the end of days battle that takes place. And it's going to be with the help of Benjamin that Esau, Amalek, is defeated. Also last year during Sukkot, we had Dr. Conrado Umania, who is a Messianic rabbi here in Costa Rica, and has thoroughly researched the history of the Sephardic Jews, and he knows his stuff. And he made a statement, something that I'd never heard, and he has the evidence to back this statement up. But he also made a statement that during the times of Solomon, that it got so bad in Israel, that many people left. In part, one of the main tribes that actually left under Solomon was Benjamin. And this is how they also went to Africa and went to other places. And again, he's got this all documented. And he made a statement that just resonated in my spirit when he said that not only did Benjamin not bow to Esau, but Benjamin, or the remnants of Benjamin, was also one of the tribes that never was taken into Babylon. So here you have Benjamin not bowing to Esau, the only one not bowing to Esau, and then you have Benjamin not being taken into Babylon, not being scattered, into the nations like Israel, like the other 10 tribes, and like Judah, for the most part. I'm not saying that every Benjamite didn't go into Babylon, but for the most part, that Benjamin was not taken into Babylon. So there's a big time prophetic message in that. But the point I want to get to is Benjamin, meaning builder of my right hand or son of my right hand. He gives us a type and shadow of the work of Yeshua. The first time Yeshua came, it was, we could say, kind of sorrowful. He had to suffer. He came as the suffering servant. He took our sins upon himself so that we could be restored. So here we see Benjamin is a type of Yeshua, because Yeshua first came as the suffering servant. Then when he comes back, he's the restorer and the redeemer. And just as Benjamin was used in the story of Joseph to redeem or restore the relationship with Ephraim and his brothers, Joseph, so will it be in the end of days that Benjamin is going to act in the role as a redeemer and restorer of that relationship. So Benjamin is a prophetic picture of Yeshua and his work, but he's also, I believe, going to play a big role in the natural and spiritual aspects of the end of days, in the 12 tribes being restored and the kingdom being fully restored back to its place of honor that we're supposed to have, representing the King of the universe, Yahweh. I pray this has been a blessing to you, and have a blessed day, and shalom.